In Southeast Asian oil palm plantations, uncontrolled rat populations consume between 10 and 15% of the crop yield. That translates directly into massive revenue losses every harvest cycle. To manage this pest without relying on expensive and toxic anticoagulant rodenticides, plantation operators introduce the barn owl as a biological control agent. A healthy owl population naturally suppresses rat numbers. Because monoculture plantations lack natural nesting cavities, operators must install artificial wooden nest boxes to house the owls. Wood, however, degrades quickly in high humidity, rotting from rain and suffering termite attacks. If a plantation installs these boxes but fails to maintain them, the structures collapse. The owls lose their habitat, abandon the area, and rat populations quickly rebound to destructive levels. A 17-month study spanning 2022 to 2023 tracked 452 nest boxes across 5 commercial plantations in southern Thailand. The researchers recorded massive disparities in nest box failure rates, depending on how each plantation managed its resources. This chart tracks damaged boxes across 5 locations. Look at the worst managed site, CPI 4. Without maintenance, damage steadily climbs, reaching a 20% failure rate. Compare that to CPI 1. By implementing a regular repair schedule, their damage rate hovered near 0% for the entire duration. Achieving that stability requires a strict field inspection protocol. Teams conduct monthly visual checks, looking for cracked walls, for broken roofs, and termite infestations. Systematic data tracking and routine visual audits identify microfailures early, allowing workers to intervene before the boxes collapse and cause systemic owl abandonment. It is easy to assume that high failure rates are an unavoidable consequence of tropical monsoon weather, but the data reveals a different pattern. This box plot compares damaged boxes in the dry season against the wet season. Notice the higher concentration of failures during wetter months. However, look at the red dots representing CPI 1. Even during the monsoon, proactive maintenance kept their damage rates near 0. To replicate this success, plantation managers need to time their box audits accurately. Full field inspections should occur twice a year, immediately before the rainy season begins and immediately after it ends. When boxes fail during the wet season, rat numbers rise. If operators panic and deploy chemical rat poisons in response, predators or scavengers consume the contaminated prey, creating a toxic cycle that poisons the remaining owls. Extreme weather accelerates rot and termite activity, making it a stress multiplier. Yet proactive human management ultimately dictates whether this biological control system survives the wet season. When field checks reveal minor damage, like a water leak or loose plywood, workers must initiate an immediate response protocol to prevent structural collapse. Plantations need a strict operational threshold. Once a broken box is reported, a repair dispatch is triggered, and the clock starts counting down. No damaged box should remain unrepaired for longer than 30 days. Repair teams must execute these fixes carefully. If active eggs or young chicks are found inside a damaged box, the crew must delay maintenance until the owls fledge, avoiding disturbance to the breeding cycle. Managers can offset the labor costs of these inspections by training existing staff. Daily fruit harvesters can visually check and report box conditions along their normal cutting routes. By tracking these reports, operators can map breakage locations to identify high-damage blocks. This allows managers to efficiently route their repair teams to the zones needing the most attention. Treating nest boxes as permanent ecological infrastructure, requiring consistent upkeep, just like drainage ditches or access roads, secures a reliable, unpaid workforce of specialized rodent hunters. Immediate repairs solve short-term problems, but planners must look at structural modifications for the next generation of nest boxes to prevent rapid decay from the start. 2 physical upgrades significantly defend against tropical elements. First, replacing a flush roof with a flared overhanging roof deflects rain away from the walls. Second, wrapping a smooth metal collar around the base pole blocks termites from climbing. Sourcing higher quality, weather-resistant wood requires a larger initial investment, but it drastically reduces the frequency and cost of monthly repairs over the plantation's lifespan. Resilient nest boxes secure year-round habitats for barn owls. Sustaining these predators protects crop yields and eliminates the need for chemical rodenticides.